Welcome back to On the Record. We're here at the Aria Hotel in Las Vegas at the CompTIA Breakaway event, and I'm here with Robinette, who is the Director of Channel Marketing for MOKAFIVE. Welcome to the show again.
Thanks, Robert. It's good to be here.
Yeah, so I don't usually do one person three times or twice in 3 weeks or something. And it was just around the corner that we did it, but the product deserves it. And with your background, I know that this is going to be such a strong play in the channel. So let's talk about for 1 minute or two, your own background.
Well, my background is channel for about 25 years. That's all I'm going to tell you about in Hewlett Packard.
So you started when you were one?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Hewlett Packard, Avaya, Juniper, Symantec, Postini, and Cisco, Fortinet, and now a director of channel marketing here at MOKAFIVE, which is a startup in the Valley.
And I'm going to take it for granted that you're going to be putting together a channel program?
We've put together a channel program, and we turned it on organically just a couple of weeks ago. So we've gotten about 60 partners interested that are pushing pretty hard on the value proposition that we've got in the channel. So I think it's going to be very positive.
Okay, so let's talk about what this product is. So it's all about Apple.
It's not all about Apple, actually. It's all about securing your data in the enterprise. So some of the challenges with traditional VDI is it is very expensive. It's a very labor-intensive infrastructure in the data center, and it takes a lot of investment with our traditional methods, Citrix and VMware. We're actually virtualization agnostic, but we work today with VMware, and what we're client-side VDI.
Okay, so explain why that's important.
So what we do is we use the power of the laptop or the desktop, and that allows us to put a secure bubble around all of your applications and give you an image on your Apple or your PC or your bare metal product, which is complete with all of your needed applications for your corporation. So it's kind of like a container for all of your Windows licenses, etc. And then the minute that your employee is done at the company, you can reclaim those licenses because you only have to buy what you need, and it doesn't go away out the door with the PC when it leaves.
Which cuts down on costs a whole lot.
Cuts down on costs a whole lot. It's a way to manage a whole bunch of licenses, and it's a way to secure the data.
That was my next point,
Yeah.
which is a lot more important than the cost of
the licenses. That's right. That's right.
So, how does this work? Like, we've got all these products out here. What does it do?
So we've got two products. One is our suite, our MOKAFIVE suite, which works on PC, on bare metal, or on Apple products, and allows you to put a secure container of all of the applications. And you can work online or offline. Unlike traditional products, you have to be tethered to the internet. In this case, you don't. You can pick up my PC in this case, and you can get it right to all of my applications. And I can be working on my PowerPoints and on my email, and then when I sync up, all of those files sync up.
Amazing. So, let me ask you a question, okay? So I've got this little thing called a iPhone or something, and I don't even know how really to start it. Like, I mean, they told me I have to hit this button, but then sometimes I have to hit the one on the back on the top up here. Now, I'm not the most technical person in the world, but being serious, what's the advantage if I've got my own phone?
Okay, so what the product does is you have two products. One is the live PC we talked about, right, which goes on the PC or the Apple or on the bare metal. And the other is the iOS product. The iOS product works with both the iPad and the iPhone. And you go to the iTunes store, you download the application, MOKAFIVE application, and it will sync your data. So it secures the data, because what happens is you don't need this to be a PC. You need access to your corporate data, because this doesn't have a full keyboard. So it still would be difficult for you to render something like a PowerPoint or do an Excel spreadsheet, right? But you might want to see that spreadsheet wherever you are, and you can get access to the same secure container on these two devices just by downloading the application.
And from a channel point of view, so many more people are bringing their iPhones and or their RIM or whatever it happens to be, but they're all bringing it, or BlackBerry, sorry, or now Samsung's the big one that's selling. There's so many of them coming into the office. Where does that give it off? I assume that that's going to create a much stronger reason for them to get your product.
Right, and driven by the Apple phenomena, we know that the consumerization of IT has been a big trend. So if you're using it at home, I want to bring it in, and if I'm a CEO, I'm going to bring it in and say, make this work. So if you get very acclimated to any device at home, you expect to use that device in your office. Well, how do you do that securely? And that's created a headache for IT. And what they say is, here's the paper, here, use this paper and download all that stuff, but I didn't give that paper to you. That isn't the way to handle it. The way to really embrace it is to have a product like MOKAFIVE that says, look, when that person leaves the company, I can completely remote wipe that data. And you secure the data, not the devices. So no longer is it take my personal device and hand it to IT and they wipe it off, and you're not going to let anybody do that to your personal stuff. This takes a different approach.
Yeah, which is really interesting, because then that person can be anywhere in the world doing who knows what with your data, and in one stroke or whatever it happens to be. I don't think it's very many though.
Right.
You can clean off anything that was yours, but their information, their own information that they've gotten through other sources, would that stay with it?
That would stay with the product, that's right. So it's like having a little application. Let's say you put a game application on your Apple, and you decide you don't want to play that game anymore, so you just delete the app. That's pretty much what you do, but you can do it remotely from the IT department. So that's the beauty of it, is it keeps the data secure, not the device, and you can set over 90 parameters, policies, that say don't drag from my personal laptop or desktop onto my secure container.
So realistically, from a channel partner's point of view who wants to really help out his customer, one, which is this really small part, is he's now allowing them to let their employees to bring in their own devices so that the company doesn't have to pay for them,
Right.
and maintain them and all the rest of that stuff. But that's, in my opinion, and maybe you're going to disagree, but I don't think you are, that's about that much of it. Mm-hmm. Because at the other side, so, I think this was like $450 or $500, the data that I could have, and if I start moving that, or worse, give it to your competitors,
Right.
it could be millions of dollars. It could take the company, and take some of the biggest companies in the world could be wiped right out
Right.
with what these people could be carrying on their systems.
Or imagine just losing a device. Now you call up IT and you say, go ahead and wipe that. Done.
Boy, you'd feel a whole lot better. And when they wipe it, you can still get it off the server.
That's right.
Wow.
So you lose this, you get another one. The other thing that it does
See,
is
so I'm not a techie, but I do understand what we're talking about.
it does address one unique use case that I think is fantastic. Disconnected workers. So imagine an M&A, a merger and acquisition, that is day zero. They just download through a USB onto their Apple product or their whatever device, and they are on the corporate image from day zero. That's unique. Disconnected workers like remote employees, who doesn't have remote employees. Being able to put them on board, with a download, or get them up and running just like that, and you don't wait for a week for this guy to be productive. And then when you're done with them, you can say, if they haven't connected in 7 days, we're going to kill that image, or the next time they connect, we could kill the image, or we're going to kill it 7 days after we terminate his contract.
Sounds fabulous. And the thing I like, obviously, about it is that you're there, or somebody like you, who is going to make sure that it's built, or the channel program is built in a way that's going to make them money.
Correct. Yeah, we do have a very robust, a very comparable program that will help get you up and running right away as a partner. And we've only just opened for systems integrators and value-added resellers. And we're looking for people who can really make the money on the integration as well as the management of these devices. So there's an unlimited potential.
So if I remember correctly, last time when we ended the show, you said to me, so you want, so the one thing that you want everybody to know is that MOKAFIVE and Lauren are open to the channel.
MOKAFIVE and Lauren are open to the channel.
Terrific. Good.